Shanti and a very happy Independence Day to all of us. We've been celebrating Independence Day since a long time, since 1947. But this is a very, very special Independence Day. A special one because we are all in the lockdown, in the middle of the pandemic, and a lot of contemplation has been going on into our lives across the world. This is the first time we're seeing an event like this right since World War II. So we got freedom from the Britishers in 1947. But now is the time when we can really contemplate and look for the real independence. What the soul really desires. So what is this real independence that now we need to get into? So it's freedom from 5 elements and taking in 3 things. In other words, you can say freedom from the vices, just freedom from the vices and taking in 3 things in our life. If we can get this into our life, I would say we are free. I would say the soul is free, and I would say this is the real freedom. So what is the freedom from the vices? The freedom from the vices is freedom from, number 1, lust. Lust is attraction, lust for money, lust for just looking at somebody and getting attracted. All forms of lust, all kinds of unnecessary bodily attractions. That's the first. The second is anger. We all get angry, in one way or the other. Minor forms, major forms, getting irritable, becoming overbossy over people, just not being in the right state of mind. So getting angry and then feeling bad ourselves. So that's the second freedom. The third is greed. There is so much that we have, but do we know our limits? What is really do we need? Or are we just running after more and more and more? And I'm sure this pandemic has taught us the real true worth of what we really want in our lives. So many of us have started enjoying nature a lot more, enjoying time with our families a lot more, being with ourselves a lot more, and we've all discovered new ways of living. So this is the third form of freedom, freedom from greed. The fourth freedom is the freedom from attachment. And here it would be attachment towards our bodies, attachment to people, attachment to family, attachment to our homes, attachment to everything that is visible with the eye. That is the fourth kind of freedom. Because as long as our mind is locked into all these, and we are so much into all these, into the body, into mind, into what is my house, into what is my profession, into everything, into my children, and we are not able to live with detachment, and therefore we are not able to live with wisdom, because we live in a world where we are so much attached to all of this. So this would be the fourth kind of freedom. And the fifth would be freedom from our ego. By ego, it is a false sense of identity, wherein freedom from our profession, freedom from our career, freedom from our position, that I am so and so, I have this status in society. So freedom from this false sense of identity that I carry on about myself, right to the subtle kind of ego that these are my thoughts. So even freedom from my thoughts, that this is my thought and I want things to happen this way, and this is the right way. So really, if we can attain freedom from these 5 things, then I would say we are really independent and we can celebrate a really happy Independence Day. So now that you're free from these five, we are free from these five vices, what are the three things that we need to get attached to? And that attachment is allowed. The first is attachment to the soul. The bright shining light in the center of the forehead, the energy, the ruh, the atma, the soul. This is who I am, a peaceful, loving, happy soul. So if I can really introspect into this real being of me, into this real identity, then that attachment is allowed. That contemplation is allowed. So that is the first attachment which is required. The second attachment, which is the attachment to God, because God is the ocean. So the love, the peace, the happiness that we are looking around in the whole world, God is the bestower of these virtues. So if we can really get attached and understand who God is, really explore, give our time and see what really He is, where He is, and get to know Him and learn to get into ourselves the happiness and peace that we want, to be able to connect with Him and to get that, which is meditation. So that's the second attachment that is allowed. And the third, attachment to the home, meaning that this is not our home where we are living. This is just physical, it is just temporary, it is just a guest house. So the home is up above the clouds, a region of red light from where we all souls came from. So really getting back to that is really my home, and this is not my home. So I invite you to get into these three kinds of attachments, these three kinds of thinking, in this kind of contemplation. And once we are into this world, that is freedom. So a happy Independence Day and a happy journey into the real freedom. Om Shanti. And by Om Shanti, the meaning of Om Shanti is I am a peaceful soul, living here in the center of my forehead. So thank you, Om Shanti, and happy Independence Day.